Hello everyone, Ghost in the Shell Tactical. We're going to talk about the Walther PDP today, and yeah, I just fell in love with this firearm, I have to admit. I was shooting Glocks for a while, and to be honest, my story with concealed carry and shooting is a little bit complicated. So, when I first started shooting, I was probably, my late 20s, and this is about 6 years ago. I got my LTC. I lived in Massachusetts at the time, so as you can imagine, it was it was not easy, and there was certain restrictions. But then I got it, and one of the funky rules in Massachusetts is you can own a Glock, but you have to buy it private sale. You can't buy it from a FFL. So Glocks are like this hot commodity, and there's this sexy factor in the civilian firearms industry, where if you can't have it or if it's harder to get, you just want it, right? It's the same thing with like short-barreled rifles, where people pay the $200 tax stamp for the 5.56 11-inch AR to have their stock and their vertical grip, but in reality, I think 5.56 usually is the best out of a 14 to 18-inch barrel or even 20-inch barrel to begin with. But, it's just sexy. So, I was into Glocks. And I still like Glocks, and whatever, what have you. But when I moved to New Hampshire, I started to experiment more with other firearms. And Glocks lost that allure to me. They weren't as difficult to get. I could just buy it at an FFL. And then on top of that, I hadn't shot for a couple years because during COVID, a lot of the firearm ranges were closed in Massachusetts. So I actually went like 2 years not shooting. And so I was super rusty. And I started to shoot my Glocks again. Once, things opened back up, I moved up to New Hampshire, and I was just so awful and terrible. I was never really that good to begin with. I am now, though. With these things, man, let me tell you, I picked up one of these. It was the 5-inch at first here. Look how beautiful, by the way, look how beautiful this firearm is. Look how beautiful this is. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Sorry, I can't really get it all in the camera angle, but wow. It's just oh my gosh. It's amazing, isn't it? I picked up the 5-inch, and honestly, it was probably just going to be a temporary purchase. I bought it private sale. I was like, yeah, might as well. I got a good deal. And I was just yeah, I'll probably just shoot it a little bit and sell it. I already got my little Glock 43X, and I shot it 10 times more accurately. And I'm like, what is going on here? I'm actually pretty good with this thing. And this is a year ago at this point now. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to stick with this. And yeah, believe it or not, after a year of practice, not only was I just good to begin with, a lot better with this, now I'm actually really proficient, I'd say, and I picked up the compact version here too, as well. So for those of you that don't know, these are the Walther PDPs, right? This is the 5-inch. This is, I believe it's just a 4-inch compact version. This holds 18+1. This holds 15+1. These are the standard PDPs. You can get the PDP Pros, which come with, the factory magwells, and a threaded barrel, and a couple other features or whatever. But when I originally bought this, it was private sale, and I just liked it. So I was just I'll keep it and buy some aftermarket stuff, and that's what I did. So I got these. You can see this aftermarket magwell from Taylor Freelance, which works great. It's a little bit discolored. You can see it's a slightly different shade of black, which bothers me a little bit, but it works well, so I don't really care. And then on top of that, let me see if I can get this in the camera. Oh yeah, here's the red dot. You can't see it because the camera always distorts it. But the sight. Oh, there it is. Yeah, you can see the sight picture. This is the shadow systems. By the way, this takes Glock sights. in terms of the iron sights. Shadow Systems, I forget what the model number is, but you can see, I don't know, it's hard to see, but you can see I got a front night sight, tritium, just in case, you know, the red dot gets smashed or goes down or something, who knows, right? But that red dot, man, let me tell you, ooh, man, super accurate, crazy accurate. I can't even believe how, these are definitely the most accurate guns, right, that I've ever shot. The most accurate, I should say, most accurate striker fire handguns that I have ever shot. And of course the compact, this is my everyday carry, by the way. Everyday carry. And when I say every single day, I mean every single day. Every single day. I just hiked actually a few mountains yesterday in the White Mountains in New Hampshire. 14-mile hike, 5,000 feet elevation, something like that I traversed. This thing was on my hip the whole time with an extra mag in my left pocket. You can see here. Ooh, look at that. Look at that little red, not red dot, what am I talking about? Tritium, yeah, perfect. Now, I might also get a red dot for this, I don't know. But I'm good, honestly, just without it. I mean, it doesn't matter either way. And then you just get the Kydex holsters meant to, you know, fit it with the lights. You got the TLR 7 on the compact, TLR 1HL on the full size. This is, by the way, this is my nightstand gun. And what do I have? Where is it? Oh, here we go. I have aftermarket mag extension plus 3 or 4 rounds. So this holds like 21, 22. I usually just put 21 in it. You can get that from TLR Freelance too. The mag extension. So there is aftermarket support with these things, by the way, you know. And yeah, the trigger, 100 times better than a Glock. I mean, you know, here we go. Like, look at this. Hold on. Oof. Perfect. Doing this with my left hand. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah, these are the most accurate striker fire handguns in the world. Period. And look at those serrations, by the way. Ooh. You know, you got the press checks. It's hard with the camera angle for me to do this properly, but, you know, press checks or whatever. All day. All day. It's just so... Look at that. I mean, just look at that. I just want to, like... Oh, it is so good. It is so good. Look at it. It's just there. It's sexy. You know, I actually like the fact that these aren't the pro versions. That these don't have the threaded barrels, that I kind of had to trick it out a little bit myself. I don't know, it just makes it more personal, you know? And the OD green color of the handle is just perfect. And they're like my twin OD green babies, you know? And they just, this thing goes everywhere with me, right? Can't beat it. Can't beat it, bro. So, I just wanted to show you guys, and that's just my sort of new setup. I actually did just order, because I did sell my Glocks, but, you know, this is like this all kind of happened like a year ago at this point. Maybe even more than a year ago. A little more than a year ago. And, sold my Glock. I had a couple Glocks that I sold, but you know what? I am kind of crazy. I did shoot somebody's Glock the other day that wasn't mine. And I'm like, you know what? I still kind of want something like that, right? I want to learn how to shoot, because it is different. And it has a lot to do with the grip angle, right, on a PDP as compared to a Glock. It's just very different. You know, with a Glock, you kind of have to tilt your wrist and stuff like that a little bit to shoot it proficiently. And I was actually pretty accurate with the Glock. I just think the whole thing with the Glock is you just have to... I do think it's not quite as accurate as the PDPs, but I do also think that you can get pretty much there with training, and there is a possibility. Of course, I'm learning. I'm still getting proficient, and I've heard this, and I see what people mean. There is a possibility that you might be able to shoot faster with a Glock with training as compared to the PDPs, because these PDPs, although they're super accurate, They are a little not jump. What would you call it? Jumpy, I guess. Yeah, the recoil, a little high recoil, but it returns to center really nicely. So it seems like I think you could probably shoot it just as fast as a Glock. It's just, I don't know. So what I did was I ordered, what do you call it? A couple PSA daggers, right? They're basically Glock Gen 3 clones. I was like, I'd rather pay half the price because those are just as good from my research that I could tell. So I got a couple Glock clones on the way, and I'll do a little bit of testing to see which ones I like better. But I have no doubt in my mind, just from my experience and from other reviews and stuff like that, that the Walther PDP's the most accurate on the market right now. But we will see if it's if it holds up when it comes to shooting fast consecutively. Doing like a bill drill, six shots in a row. I'm just starting to train in that way. More action shooting type stuff. I have a feeling it's going to be comparable, but either way, I'd like to know at least how to shoot well with a Glock, as well as shooting well with these PDPs. Because the one drawback, of course, with the PDPs, and it's not, this is changing rapidly, I think, but just aftermarket and holster support a little bit. I actually, the 5-inch is a little tougher to get a holster because a lot of the PDPs aren't 5-inch, right? This is kind of like a little bit of a unicorn. Not necessarily. You just don't see as many of them out there. Most of them are the 4.5 or the 4-inch PDPs. So, anyways, yep. That's just my video on this. It's just beautiful setups. Just wanted to give my opinion on these. Let me know what you guys think about the PDP. It's served me so well over the past year, and I just shoot way better with it off the bat. As I would say a beginner. I was getting good, and then I went off 2 years, and then I was kind of like a beginner again, and I just love it. Anyways, let me know what you think. It's been Ghost in the Shell Tactical. Peace out.